Yo, what up, world? It's your boy, comedian Christopher Columbus. Yo, make sure you check out the What's Up Chuck podcast. Coming soon.
Welcome. What's up to another episode of the What's Up Chuck podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Collins, and today we have a special edition. It's been a minute since we've seen one another, but I done built this state-of-the-art studio, and so I had to bring my guy out to the lab, man. Appreciate you coming all the way out here to the crib,
I appreciate
man.
it, bro. I appreciate it.
Might have to cash out my man some gas money, because you know I look kind of out there, but it's all good. He's here now, so let's enjoy it, man. Let me introduce my main man, Christopher Columbus. Chris, for the people who don't know who you are, man, please enlighten them. Tell them about who you are and what you do, man.
All right, first off, I like to say that I am my mama's son, that I am Chris, but yeah, I am comedian Christopher Columbus, and before y'all think anything bad about my mama or whatever, like why the hell she named that black boy Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus is just my stage name. My first name is Christopher, and I'm from Columbus, Georgia, so I put those two together. So I am the founder and CEO of the Greek Comedy Tour. So if you're out there looking up on the website, www.thegreekcomedytour.com, we have comedians for all D9 organizations, from AKA Alpha all the way through Omega, Kappa, Sigma, Zeta, all the way, whatever. We have a comedian through. We have over 15 different comedians from Def Comedy Jam, Comic View. We have 4 comedians on Wild 'N Out right now. Then pretty much we do homecomings, we do promotional festivals, we do fundraisers for Greek letter organizations, man. It's the ultimate Greek event or whatever that, you know, in this environment right now, we as black people, we like divided or whatever. So when we get together, it's a lot of laughter, there's no Greek bashing and nothing like that, man. It's a real good time, man. So if if you're out there looking for a fundraiser for your organization, or you got a college or whatever, you want to bring some out there, we're good for homecoming, and then we use like our Wild 'N Out younger comedians for the colleges or whatever, so bring us out or whatever. So, and I'm also a father of 2 kids, 2 beautiful girls, age 23. They living up in DC right now, they're up in Virginia, doing good things right now. I'm so proud of them, but the most powerful thing that I'm proud of is that they're over 18 and they're paid off. So, yeah,
I can't get over that.
my child support days are done. So I learned my lesson at an early age about child support, and child support was cool. You're like, oh, yeah, I'll take care of the kids, all this other kind of stuff. You get that first daycare bill.
Oh wow!
And took the daycare bill for like 2 years, and I was in the
You got the 2-for-1 special too.
Nah, bro. And so yeah, it was a pretty much. But hey, look what I'm at now. They done.
He made it.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So Christopher Columbus, aka Chris Richardson, is the father of 2.
Right.
Businessman, comedian extraordinaire, entrepreneur, and overall just a solid dude. So this episode is gonna be so dope. Let's just give the people a little bit of your dopeness, man, because this podcast was created to just introduce dope people into the world, man. I consider you a dope guy, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Cool, man. So listen, have you always been funny?
I think I have. So you hear it or whatever, like growing up, like I'm older or whatever. You see, like you should try comedy or whatever. And I think like if I was born in this day and age, I think out of high school I would have went straight into comedy.
Just did the first round pick.
Yeah, I would have went into it because it's more avenues. You have social media and the more comedy clubs. Being from Columbus, didn't have that, and then I didn't have the grades to pursue anything else, like, what I'm saying? So I am the product of a true example of it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I graduated high school with a 1.4 grade point average, bro.
Is that rounded up or down?
Bro, that's rounded down. Now that's rounded up.
And you went every Wednesday?
Bro, listen. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I got an F and P. My mom like, you don't know how to play?
Oh my goodness, bro.
So for real, I had a 1.4, I have my transcript in my wallet. I'm sure to you.
It's okay. I tell you where.
So after high school, whatever, I really didn't have no options of whether to go to college or pursue anything. I really had no plan. So I did what most black men did back then was I went in the Army.
The Army.
I went in the Army, bro.
Wow.
I went in the Army, bro.
Okay.
And that was the best decision I ever made in my life, bro.
Okay. So you were funny in college, didn't really maybe have the avenues that you thought you had
Right.
because of your.
I went to college after the military.
Oh, okay.
I said 1.4. Ain't no damn college. Ain't no college. I think only like I didn't qualify to be in CNA. Like I couldn't clean ass. I couldn't clean no vomit. I couldn't be a janitor.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing.
But
So-
you could go to the Army.
But I could go in there. And I was the one like they didn't give a gun. They were like, just go see what's out there.
Just tell us if they coming.
I was the Tuskegee experiment. I was they like,
Did they call you by your name and they were like 1.4? Come
yeah,
here.
1.4.
Come here.
And then if I went, they said go out there and come back. If I came back, that mean wasn't nobody out there.
Okay.
And then, but if I got shot, that mean
Then they do.
They interview.
Okay. All right. Let's go. All right. So what was growing up in Columbus like? I know you say you didn't really have that many outlets, but
Right. Well, I mean, you still had your triple stuff like I'm about to be 50. So my
Hey, give it up for that. My man, about to be
50
50.
next month. Yeah, I'll be 50 next month. So, the typical childhood back then, you playing outside, sports and stuff like that. So, playing, we didn't have PlayStation, we didn't have cell phones and stuff like that. So, and I grew up in an apartment complex. So there was a whole bunch of other kids out there that you played with, whatever. So of course I had fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Too much fun.
Yeah, too much fun. You know what I'm saying? And I hate when academics interfere with leisure.
Man, don't you hate that?
I hate that, bro. Like you ever watch like kids in college and you be like, man, he's academically ineligible. Like, what the hell? Like, why is academics involved? We here to watch a game. You know what I'm saying?
Call your friends, they doing homework. You like,
right?
nah, I don't do that. But
and so the crazy thing is, like, fast forward a couple years, like my kid's mother was big on academics.
Okay.
And so you couldn't bring nothing less than a C in the house.
Wow.
So I remember my kid's mom would call me and be like, Montero, that's my oldest daughter. She got a C.
right.
I was like, shh, my name started with a C.
He was like, go ahead, baby girl.
That's good. And she was like, nah, she's drowning. I'm like, why? I'm like, man, like, why are you drowning over just a C? You know what I'm saying? So, but I get it. I had to support her like you shouldn't. So when they was in high school, I showed them my transcript of high school, and they were just like, you, how dare you?
Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings,
Like you
bro.
said, it doesn't matter where you
It didn't
start.
start, whatever. So but like after the military, whatever, I did wind up going to college. I wanted to get my bachelor's in business management, and I have a master's in organizational leadership. So I got my master's like 11 years ago. So then my kids were able to see me get 2 degrees. So I can hold that up or whatever.
That's
Back
cool.
in the day, it was like nah. I was nah.
All right, so the Army, was that like the only choice, or was it other military services that you were thinking about?
That's the only one I qualified for at the time. Me and my closest friend said we went on back then they had like the buddy system. We went in together.
Oh,
So
okay.
we did whatever. So it was like whatever. If he don't go, I don't go. But we really I was that kid that graduated high school. I didn't have a job and nothing. Like I graduated, stayed out all night, and then the next day it was just like nothing. So my mom was like, "You got to do something." So my mother, shouts out to my mother.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, she gave me like 30 days to make up my mind, whatever. So, and I went to Army at 17, so she had to sign for me. So
Oh wow.
I decided that was the best ever. It made me grow up because I really didn't have no guidance, no nothing. I probably been that dude that's just home, just kids everywhere.
Hit the
whatever.
block.
Oh heck yeah!
I got you. So you went to the Army at 17.
Right.
How long did you stay?
I did 14 after that. I did the rest reserve.
Okay, so you did a whole 20.
Yeah, the part active, part reserve.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so a lot of times I meet people who are in the Army or
Right.
other military service, and they just do like 4 years or 6 years and they get
Yeah.
out. But you
It's
did
not,
the whole-
it's,
you
yeah,
did
it's
the
not,
whole
it's,
20.
yeah, it's not for everybody, man.
Right.
It's not for everybody. It's like college is not for everybody. Like
Right.
my oldest daughter realizing now that college isn't for her, and she was the biggest one. Like I want to do these college, so I want to go here, I want to go there. Now it's like I don't know. Now she's a dope designer.
Okay.
Like fashion designer. Like my daughter like modeling and like she does a lot of photo shoots. Designers for people for music videos and stuff like that. Now she is great in it. Now does she make a lot of money from it? No, it don't pay the bills, so she has to keep working and whatever until she figures it
But
out.
she's at the place where it can take off at any moment.
You know what? When people say your calling or whatever, that is her calling. Like I said, she's very good at it, but it just don't pay the bills. She just got to keep grinding.
Hey,
So,
keep going.
Yeah. So.
All right, so you get out of the Army. What's next?
What did I do right out of the Army? I was paying child support. I know for sure. Man, I think after my first job out of the Army, I started working for JB Hunt.
JB Hunt,
I started working
old
for
transport.
JB Hunt. Yeah, I mean, in '80, Adrian, my roommate.
Okay.
We started off in Atlanta, and then when we got to Atlanta, they was like, yo, they centralized all the managers. You weren't there yet, but they sent everybody to corporate. Right. So we went to Fayetteville, we went to Lowell, Arkansas. So yeah, so that's what.
Two brothers in Lowell, Arkansas.
Yeah, bro.
And you made it back.
Made it back, bro.
Hey man, in the movie, it's called Get Out, right?
but I went back like maybe like 10 years ago, man. It is way urban now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more black people out there now. So yeah,
shout out to Lowell for
I think they got the Popeyes now. I think they got the Krispy Kreme. You know what I'm saying?
What's the burger joint down there?
Oh, yeah. Everything they don't have in Chuck neighborhood, they have down
there. Hey, man, shout out.
Yeah.
Hey, we on the come up, man. We finna get all of that.
Oh, yeah.
So silly, man. Alright, so you start out with JB or whatever, but obviously that probably didn't fulfill you. Did you know, or I should ask you, how soon did you know like you had a spirit to be your own boss or to be an entrepreneur or go down that avenue?
Man, I think I was always wanted to do something, and I think I think I'm very creative, but I always had the best advice for other people. Right. Oh, you should do this, like they was good or whatever. So I think maybe, man, like I only been in comedy, bro, less than 10 years.
For real?
Less than 10 years, bro. I started doing comedy when I was at JB. Yeah, the second time, I left and came back to JB just like you, but I only been in comedy this year, in December 19th, it'd be 8 years.
Wow, that's crazy because when you and I met, I thought you were joking about telling jokes.
I had just started, bro. I had just started, and the crazy thing, to tell you a quick story on how I got into comedy was that I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, right?
I remember that.
Yeah, so Atlanta, and living in Atlanta, they always show the Falcons game. So me and my homeboy in the end, we always go to the little sports bar that showed that had the NFL package. They're showing games or whatever. So the Cowboys was playing at 4, but they was showing another game or whatever, the local regional game. I think like Tampa or somebody. So the Cowboys weren't on country, but I wanted to watch the game. So he wanted to go into Legends, and we get there, whatever, and DJ Silver Knight, I don't know if you know him, was a big DJ in Atlanta. He used to be T.I.'s DJ or whatever, so he's the DJ for like the Rubber Man video and all that kind of stuff, Rubber Band Man. So he was on the mic and he was promoting like all this other kind of stuff, but he was promoting the fans, so a whole bunch of Falcon fans in there, and the Falcons were playing in Carolina. And Carolina and Atlanta wound up going to overtime, so they were showing that game. I'm like, man, hurry up, get this game off, so they show the Cowboys or whatever. So I'm back. He's talking on the mic. I'm not too far from the booth. We going back and forth talking trash, all this other kind of stuff. So I'm bragging the Falcon fans and all this other kind of stuff, just like I always do or whatever. So he said, oh, you think you funny? I was like, nah, man, just joking, whatever. He said, oh, you think you funny? You should come back Tuesday night, which was in 2 days, and do open mic comedy. I said, nah, man. I said, man, I've been here before. Them dudes ain't funny. He said, oh, so you think you funny? I'm just talking trash, right? Like, yeah. So he said, I'll make a bet with you. If the Falcons win, you got to come back and do comedy on Tuesday. If Carolina win, I pay for your tab, whatever you got right now. You can't add nothing else to it, but I'll pay for whatever you got. You know I don't drink, so I just had chicken wings and a whole bunch of Sprite, and it was a free refill. So you know what I'm saying? So my shit was like $20. If he would have said I couldn't add nothing else, I was like, God, like yo, it's good for everybody. Whatever. You know, you can add whatever. So the Falcons wind up beating Carolina in overtime, a field goal, bro. And he looked dead at me. He was like, I see you Tuesday. I was like, damn. So I went to work Monday, all this other kind of stuff Tuesday. My boy, and he like texted me all like, you going? You going? Bro, I had never practiced comedy ever. And I texted him like Tuesday night, and I said, Tuesday I was like, yo, let's go.
Ooh,
he's like, are you serious?
This
like, whatever.
Good.
So true story.
Good, yeah.
So I called my oldest daughter who has a personality like mine or whatever. So I tell her, I was like, check this out. I'm about to do some little drink. She was like, what are you about to do? I said, I'm about to do open mic comedy for the first time. Are you serious, Daddy? Like, for real, like, and she's in Virginia. She's in high school now. So she's like, oh, I want to be there. I wish I was there. I was there, whatever. So I called my grandmother, who I think was like in the 90s. I said, Granny, I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I come from a small family. So I was like, yo, Granny, I'm about to do something I always want to do. She's like, you know, so she gave you the spiritual, the spiritual background, all this kind of stuff, whatever. But I never told her what I was or whatever. So I take the chance. So I go to walk in the venue or whatever. So it's a sports club or whatever. And Silver Knight is like, yo, I didn't think you was gonna do it.
Coming to the stage.
So he pulled like Ronnie, I don't know, you know, comedian Ronnie Jordan from
Monique Show.
Yeah. And he do the big joke. He's real video like that fat man at the door. He was on Comic View.
Okay.
He's on Comic View.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Ronnie was like, oh, so you think you're funny or whatever. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He said, all right, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, bro. And I had practiced no joke, and I just freelanced. He gave me 3 minutes, bro, and the worst thing happened. People laughed.
Oh,
And people laughed. And I got it on video. My boy recorded it, man. I got it on video, and for 3 minutes, I was funny. And that was the worst thing. He was like, man, so he started talking. So he just started, and other comedians that were there had been doing it. They started giving me pointers and tips. He said, man, when people was laughing for this one, that when you had that big laugh and then you had the whole bit of laughing, you should just walk off stage then.
Mm-hmm.
Just quit then. Don't try to do whatever. I have no jokes, other stuff, whatever, man. So that was that. So then I came back 2 weeks later and tried it and bombed.
Oh.
Got booed out there. So got booed like a something. I thought every time a comedian went out there, they just did new jokes every day.
Right.
And that was not it.
You could have recycled because it's a new crowd.
So what Ronnie and them told me, and other comedians told me that was there the week before, they were like, man, find you a 5-10 minute routine and do that same routine every night until it ain't the jokes that's funny, it's you.
Dang.
It ain't the jokes that's funny. Like if you think about it, Bernie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac said, I don't care what I say, I'm funny. So if you think like people like Bernie Mac, no matter what Bernie Mac said, it was funny. If you went on stage and said word for word what Bernie Mac said, people would laugh.
It
was him.
It was because of his.
It was him that's funny. Like Cat Williams, like he's funny. It
Gotcha.
ain't the words that's funny. It ain't the jokes that's funny.
It's the way he pronounces
it's the
his
animation
attitude,
and
swag.
stuff like that. For the younger people like DC Young Fly, how he animated and stuff like that, people just laugh at it. And I thought it was the jokes. It's like, nah, you gotta be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned that if for people that do comedy, if you're the people that are naturally funny are funny. The people who are not naturally funny that try to tell jokes, they're the ones that ain't funny. Because they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to be funny. And then, but when you're already funny, it just is very easy and it comes across. The delivery is better. And I learned that. So the whole jokes that I did the second, he's like, nah, man, do that same routine, and then you go find stuff. Okay, I'm gonna add this into it. Then you add that, and then that 5 minute set becomes 7 minutes. Then you go, oh yeah, I should do this. Then that 7 minutes become 10. And then you go let this joke's gonna lead to this joke, and then next thing you know you got 20 minutes. The next thing you know you got 30 minutes. Then you do that joke every night till you perform it like you saying your ABCs.
That's the behind the scenes right there.
That's what, and I didn't know that. And everything I was trying to do was, all right, I told those jokes. I'm gonna told you like, nah, you have to perfect that. Perfect it till it's like you ABC till it's like you're not telling jokes, you're performing. Mm-hmm. And now people not even listen to the joke. They can just be laughing or whatever. And then they just gave me stuff, whatever that black audiences, I had to learn that. Like I'm a joke teller. Mm-hmm. Some people try to be storytellers like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a great storyteller, mm-hmm. whatever. Black people, we like Apollo. It's like Negro make me laugh.
Right.
You got 3 to 5 seconds. Like if you buy a new CD or you hear a song, if it ain't caught your ear in 10, mm-hmm. 15 seconds, you fast forward to the next song. Yep. So I got advice. They was like, man, you want to shoot for 4 to 6 10-second laughs a minute. So that means you want to have them laughing hard, and then whatever, then you just hit repetitious. You just gotta keep hitting them. And then at the end, you ain't made them last so long. Then if you want to tell a story at the end, then you set it up. Then you build it up. But you can't come out like one day when I was a kid and all this other kind of stuff. If your first laugh is 45 seconds later or whatever, you gonna look up and you gonna look in the audience and that's all you gonna see. They on Words and Friends, they on Instagram, you lost the crowd.
This guy is trash.
It's horrible, bro. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? They laughing like, man. So, and then the way the thing is, you have they don't know you. And black people don't give nobody no chance. So you have to come out like the Apollo. You know, the Apollo, if that first note they hit, they booing.
Oh, yeah.
Get them on
And they
stage.
stopping.
They get them on stage. So with comedy, until you establish yourself and learn how you are and try to be like who you want to be, like your idols, don't try to be like your idols. You can take the routines or certain things from your idols or whatever, but your best self or whatever.
It's to be you.
Be you, man.
Especially if you naturally funny.
Right, and if you're naturally funny, and I think you see a lot of, and I may sound like an old vet now, but to a lot of people, I'm still young in the game or whatever, you know, don't come in with the DNP jokes. You know, I'm not trying to be vulgar or whatever. You think graphically DNP, you know what I'm saying? And everybody mama has whooped them. Don't talk about that all the time or whatever. Just be new. Just the best story, jokes you can tell in comedy is your experiences.
Yeah, everyday
about life.
Everyday
you know
life,
what I'm saying?
right?
Because that DNP, everybody got DNP experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a weapon experience by their mom and all this other kind of, but your experiences, and you can relate to it, and then you want to tell jokes that are universal funny.
Right.
So when I say universal funny, mean that if I'm in Georgia and I'm talking about stuff, I can go to New Mexico, I can go to New Hampshire and say stuff and they can relate and be funny. You can't go to New Hampshire and talk about Waffle House. Like, what's that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Waffle House, it was up 3 o'clock. I can't go to New Hampshire and talk about Lennox Mall.
Right.
Unless you, but even though a lot of people have heard
Know
of
what it is, it's
whatever,
not
but you
universal.
gotta tell jokes that like oh, I can relate to that and whatever. When
Right.
people can relate to your story, I've been there, man. And the greatest feeling is when you finish off stage, when the show's over, people like, man, I remember, and they start telling about this, but I remember, man, that whatever. So I talk about a lot of life experiences, stuff or whatever that made people laugh and or whatever that's thing or whatever. And then when you just tell them like the man, it's still like, man, this shit really happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go back to that first experience with you being on stage, right?
Right.
So, what was the feeling like when you made those people laugh in those 3 minutes? I think you said 3 to 5 minutes that you
I
had.
had 3 minutes.
Right. What was that feeling? Did you know at that moment, like this could be my future?
No, because I was really having fun, and
Okay.
I didn't. And not saying I didn't respect it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So that thing was, I was just really just talking. I was really just talking trash or whatever. So experiences and all that kind of stuff. And then when I learned how to really write and set up a joke, how to perform it, and let this joke leads to that joke and stuff like that. And then you know, I've DJ'd also too. And you ever been to a club? Like, and then you gotta know when
You did DJ.
Yeah,
you
I was
DJ'd
DJ.
Uptown.
Yeah,
You
I was
doing
DJ.
both,
Yeah. So when you're a DJ, just say you're DJing and the whole dance floor is dancing, jamming, and then you put on a genre of music that nobody likes. Everybody leaves the dance floor.
Right.
That's embarrassing as a DJ because you know usually when the DJ's playing the crowd and then you got that one person play Hammer. Or play Frankie Beverly. It's like, nah. Your job is to cater to the people on the dance floor
Right.
because they dancing.
Right.
And you mess up what you got going right there and play that one song, and then you look over that one person, they're your song, and they just sit at the table like, thank you. Like, you ain't gonna dance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so I know you went on that first night of stand up and
Right.
you felt that applause or whatever.
Right.
Steve Harvey always talks about that moment. He knew that would be something he pursued for the rest of his life. Like I think he quit the next day. He was like, "Yo, I'm doing this." Lived in his car for 3 days. I mean, excuse me, three years or
That
whatever.
was me. I was still working at JB Hunt. I was still working at JB. I still had child support, and then one of the part of the deal with my kid's mom was I had to keep insurance on my kids.
Okay, that was
So,
part of the custody.
part of that. No. I never married my kid's mom. So,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another story.
Part two.
That's another story or whatever. But yeah, but I didn't. I had to keep insurance on my kids. So that's one of the reasons I had to keep a job was to make sure my kid because at that time my kid's mom had a government job or whatever, and they didn't offer insurance.
Okay.
So she was in the army also, so she had VA, so she was good, but the twins weren't covered. So I had to have the twins. So, so I did comedy. And one thing that's beautiful about doing comedy in Atlanta is there's an open mic spot in Atlanta at least every night. So what everybody would do like every night. And then when we worked together, I used to have to be to work at 6. So I would do comedy. I'd be out like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I remember that.
And I just get up at like 4 before I come to work. Well, that's probably why I was so damn angry.
But you were. But I thought you were playing, man. Like, you really doing stand up?
I would go like and whatever like you would do.
But it's crazy because I didn't believe it because you were not telling jokes at work. You were like, ugh.
Yeah.
But because you was grinding.
But it's a thing. I was leery of who we worked for too. And how they take for it too.
True.
People would take, you know, like,
it was a little stiff in the office back then.
It was a little stiff, and then all other kind of stuff, and then you know, and then I got another job and whatever. Then I quit JB Hunt. I didn't give no notice.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah,
you gave me the notice.
I told I told because I was like, yo, you want to do it, whatever. So what I did was because JB Hunt is known for if you were like, I'm gonna give my 2 weeks notice, they'd be like, no, day your last day, you can go.
Yeah.
So
it's okay.
And so I remember was the way JB Hunt was set up was if you got bonus, you had to be with the company the day it paid out.
Right.
And then you could be there for the quarter, but if you weren't there when it paid out, you don't get it.
Right. But
so
you figured out.
So that quarter, I had just hit my year, so I had just got all my vacation, and I think my vacation was like March 23rd. That was my anniversary date, and so the bonus quarter ended March 31st. So I had a job, start off or whatever. So I took like 2 6. I was in orientation at the other job, whatever. So I told Tom. I think Tom was there, so and I told Tom and Jerry whatever that I got something going on or whatever. I need to go take a couple of days off or whatever. And they was thinking like whatever. I was like, I lied and said it was a writer's thing or whatever.
Right.
But I was on orientation for another job, whatever. That paid like $17,000 more salary, no driver. So I was like, heck yeah.
So you took that job to kind of pursue the comedy, right?
No, that was just pay
That's
bills.
just- okay.
It was to get away from JB Hunt, the working those extra
Right.
hours and not getting paid, and all this other kind of stuff, and making more money. And it was like, so what I did was I went to orientation. The bonus ended. The criteria was March 31st, but it didn't pay out to the 16th. It was like that Wednesday. Bonus hit like that Thursday. And I remember that shit when as soon as bonus hit my checking account, whatever, I got text Tom and Jerry.
I ain't coming back.
I think no. We hit bonus that Friday. We got paid that Friday. I waited the next day. I was like, I'm gonna wait till they Saturday with their family so they can do nothing. So I texted them that Saturday. I texted them that Saturday morning like, yo, I ain't coming back. I still got the text message.
Oh, man.
I went to
the phone.
And then I remember going to my email. You can log on email from home, and I was sending farewell email. Man, I was already locked out.
Oh man, so they got it. Message received.
JITM. And like your phone, the number you have reached. 543.
But
it's no longer in service.
But that's cool because at the same time you were maneuvering all that. Right, you were still a big homie to me and was putting me up on game. Right. Like, yo, this may happen. This may or may not happen. So be ready to do this, and this.
Right.
And, man, you've been solid ever since, man. But let's jump into the journey of. All right, now you got your feet wet in the comedy game.
Right.
You've already got your other gig, that's paying the bills, but you pursuing this comedy thing. Like, all right, this is what I want to do.
Right.
I'm good at it. Or at least I feel like I'm good at it. I think I can pursue this.
Right.
All right, so walk me through that journey and how you became, and how you established the Greek comedy tour.
Okay, so are you familiar with Greek life? There's D9 Greek life, whatever. So there are 9 Greek organizations. 5 of the 9 organizations were founded in January. So what I would do was every January I would do a show called the Founders Day Show. So I did it one year, I think it was 2013. It was a hit in Atlanta. All the Greeks came around, had a good time in Atlanta, had a big location. And then I turned around, but I didn't do it again till the next January. And then when I did the next January, more people came. I did it at the Atrium. A lot of people respond. Some people on social media was like, man, you should bring that here. So I just had this thing. So you know what? Hey, I'm going to change the name from the Founders Day Show to the Greek Comedy Show. But then I eventually changed the name from show to tour to let people know that we travel and stuff like that. And so that's how the birth of the Greek Comedy Tour was founded. So I started that, and then it started picking up steam and all this other kind of stuff, started getting the name out or whatever. And I was very, very quiet about it. I'm still very quiet about it because there are a lot of big name Greeks in the entertainment community. Work for Cedric Entertainment, one of the Sykes is an AKA, Ricky Smiley. My thing is, we know it's a copycat world. I still to this day, I'm very worried, I'm worried about my tour because people copy all the time. I was scared that it made it Cedric Entertainment or Rick Smiley, like, man, we should do this. I'm a Kappa, you're Omega, you're AKA, you're Alpha, we do this, and we can charge $200,000 and make it back. And I was scared. And they're like, man, all they gotta do is change the name. Because like Popeyes, KFC, churches, they all they all fried chicken. Right. But they just different names.
And they be next door to each
so
other.
many wing spots around, the McDonald's spots or whatever, so it's like, dang. So to this day, I'm still worried about that they could take it. Because I've had people try to copy it. Like people in Chicago they did it 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't successful.
It wasn't.
It wasn't successful. So, and that's the biggest thing. So just like me and you talked about before the show started recording was the social media, the branding, and all this other kind of stuff. So that's it, man. So I still do, we do shows. So, and then we started doing shows, started before whatever, and then I had the feeling, man. I was just like, you know what? I was tired of working for someone else. And then I got to the point where I was like, man, I've never had a job where I had unlimited earning potential. Where you don't know how much you can ever make. And I wanted to be what it was. So I figured like, man, I worked so many hours for this person. Like, what if I put that many hours in myself, in my tour, how would it make? And I just think whatever, so man, on social media, like whatever, I wind up watching the Steve Harvey, it's a video about Steve Harvey about the leap video when he's doing the family feud. Taking that in, I watched that video every day for 3 months.
Wow.
I watched that video for every day for 3 months, but I was like, man, my kids in school or whatever, I gotta get whatever. So what happened was, I had the new job that I started working for a company called Accenture. I had a black boss, a black lady, and she knew I did comedy. She was very, any show I did to Atlanta, she would come, she would bring her husband, she would bring her girlfriend, she would bring her mama.
That's cool.
So if I had to go here or whatever, she's like, all right, cool, like whatever. So she was very supportive. So I told her, I was like, man, I think I want to do my own thing. And she's like, you should. So I watched that video every day, man, and then next thing you know, my kid's mom got a job with Department of Agriculture.
Okay.
So my kid's mom work in D.C. They live in Alexandria, Virginia, right outside D.C. or whatever. So by her getting a job with Department of Agriculture, she had been a contractor for all those years, and they didn't offer insurance, benefits or whatever. So with the Department of Agriculture, they offer her health insurance or whatever. So man, so I was like, or whatever. So she was like, we got to talking one time through the girls or whatever. I was like, your mom got a job or whatever. And I called out just like, hey, the girls are like maybe like a senior in high school. I said, are you going to put insurance on the twins? And she was like, I had thought about it, like, do you need me to? And I was like, yes. And she was like, and I told her I was going to do it. And she was cool with it. Like,
supportive.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and my kid's mom, like, my kid's 23, we had over 20 years. But, after a while, it's like, it's for the kids or whatever. It was like, all right, as long as that was the deal, and they were about to go to college, and so it's like, okay, cool. And it covered, so that allowed me to, that it just me to take that chance or whatever. And man, I took that leap. And so I quit my job. It took me like 6 months. I would give my boss a day, and then I would be like, no, wait.
And we all been there.
Wait. And she's like, oh, you sure? So I remember 2018, September 4th, my last day, it was after Labor Day weekend. She's like, oh, you sure? She went out like, yeah. I'm like, I'm going for it. And I remember I had, we got booked, we come to, we got booked in Japan. And me, Shula King, I know a lot of people follow Shula King, Tyler Chronicles, Tyler, both Shula King and Tyler Chronicles are both on Wild Out now. And if you listen to V103, the Big Ticker Show, V1 Tiger is the other person on the Big Ticker radio show, but he's on Wild Now also. So Me and those two, man, we took that 18-hour flight to Japan.
Ooh.
And so talk with that. All three of us sat next to each other, man, and we all were doing comedy together. We all had a relationship together. But when you sit next to somebody for 18 hours, like you learn so much, whatever, and like, man, we talking about meditating and just all that other kind of stuff. And I was like, man, this is what I want to try. I want to do. So everything was good, man. And then the pandemic hit last year, and all traveling was done or whatever. So I had to reinvent myself. So we started doing virtual comedy shows.
Okay.
And so the virtual comedy shows pay way less, but it was able for, you know, everybody was home.
Right.
Everybody was still looking for entertainment or whatever, so we found a way. So the first couple shows were like hard, dry, because everybody was on mute and they had their cameras off. And then I just went into myself like, everybody turn your camera on. But if your grandma in that hospital bed in the room with you, I don't want to see that. You know, keep your camera
Keep
off.
it on you.
Yeah, keep it on you. Turn your mute off, and that gave us that feedback, that laughter. Because before, it's nothing like telling jokes for like 20 minutes, and you don't know if you're funny or not. You don't know. You don't get that feedback. It really was like doing a radio interview. So you just telling jokes, and you don't know if they laughing. People could be yelling at their kids, and you don't know. You can have 80 people on there, but you only see. They only put your face up on the big one when the spotlight is on you, so you don't have nothing. So I had to be like, yo, give me some of y'all turn your phone off mute, so we get that feedback, so the comedian make it feel like a comedy show. And then most comedians that we used doing 30, 40 minutes, we were only doing like 10, 15 minutes because it's really torture. You just talking, bro. You don't know if you're funny and you hit or not, and you don't know what the heck was going on. So it's pretty much was like hard. So that's how it is now. So we pretty much, but we back outside starting. We starting off San Antonio September 25th. We go back on the road, whatever, September 25th.
What's your first? Have y'all booked your first show?
But back on the road.
Yes, sir.
September 25th.
September.
San Antonio.
All right, San Antonio. So if you're in San Antonio, how can they get tickets for
You
that?
can follow on the Greek Comedy Tour. It's on my website too. Greek Comedy Tour on Instagram and stuff like that. You go through the with the IOTAs, San Antonio IOTAs. They book us. We got it coming in at 7:12. But I think they have an after party. And all the other kind of stuff. So yeah.
Definitely go support that. I've been to a few of his shows, man. Always a good time. And you had name dropped a couple of guys. I know you was humble about it, but some of the people that you've worked with have taken off, man.
Yeah.
So
like
that's big.
That's why a lot of the guys that work with, like I say, we have people from Wild 'N Out and stuff like that. But one of the people like Shula King has taken off. Common Steve Brown. We have like older comedians like in your 40s and 50s, your OGs or whatever. And that's for people like for your homecoming and stuff like that. But for younger crowd, we use a lot of the young comedians or whatever. But by me doing comedian, everybody lives in Atlanta, I really have access to a lot of comedians.
I bet you do.
They have a lot of sense. So I pretty much can get any comedian you want. It might cost you more and stuff like that. So with the Greek Comedy Tour, you don't have to be Greek to come to the show. We're not telling Greek jokes at night. They might recognize the Greek, but it's a regular comedy show. So we have done shows where we bring comedians that are not even Greek to the show. You know, they might went to college or whatever because that's who the people want. Especially with the college kids or whatever, they be like, who do you have? So you send them your roster, whatever. Like, can we get this person and stuff like that? And we come, man. It's,
So you have to adjust the roster based on the
crowd.
The atmosphere.
Right. If it's a college show, of course I'm gonna bring my younger people.
Yeah.
Because they can relate or whatever. And then if it's like a homecoming, they 30s, 40s, 50s, then you'll bring your older comedians. Or you can mix it up and still whatever. Because every older comedian can't handle a younger crowd. Because your younger crowd, all they want to hear is roasting. They just want to hear you. They just want to hear you clown on something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and then they are thinking. I've been to schools, man, where they'll talk about you on stage,
roast you back,
just to get you to get them or whatever, and it's all fun and game. You're like, man, why you a comedian? You're like, man, why you interrupting my job, whatever? And that's like, I just wanted to be funny. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So it's all fun and games.
That's interesting because every time I've been to one of your shows, I strategically pick my seat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be sitting in front of Tyler or you or
but like this, most of the shows that we do are black shows, are in black venues. So one thing the comedians know that at a black venue is when we do comedy shows, security is limited.
Security, y'all gonna pick on the smaller guy, not the bigger guy.
We're not picking on nobody. Security usually tells you we will escort you to the door. We got you inside the venue. Once you exit,
And that's where it ends.
To get to your car to your hotel, you're on your own.
Oh my goodness.
So you talk about somebody's wife or husband or anything disrespectful or whatever, believe me, security don't guide you back to your hotel. So you, man, don't mess with these folks. And especially when you go to these other cities, man, your job is to get there and get home.
I got you.
Yeah.
And speaking of some of your acts, man, do you know when somebody is going to be a breakout star? Is there something that you can tell just by like listening to them?
You can tell by, and it's mostly through their social media, through their presence, their videos and stuff like that. Like for me, everybody always like, Chris, why don't you do videos? I don't do videos. I would love to. I have videos on my phone that I never put out. It's because I hate my voice. I always said, bro, I sound like I just left football practice. Like I breathe out my mouth. So I'm always like,
that might be funny.
Nah, hell no. Like you got asthma. Like you know, like you call the girls like, you been running?
You working out? Nah.
No, you know what I'm saying? So I always sound like I'm breathing hard and stuff like that. So even when I'm on stage, like if I do a big show, what I do before the show, like Dave, I am running sprints.
No, you're not.
Like when if I get on stage and if I got energy or whatever, I am wait till I calm myself down. Cause it ain't nothing like going on stage. How y'all doing?
Hey, that's interesting.
How y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he just left football practice. Like, he just been running sprints. So you get your win and all the other kind of stuff. So my voice, I don't know about you, I hate hearing my voice, bro.
That's interesting.
So like, even if I do I recorded your set and I'm not gonna watch it because I'm listening. Instead of everybody listening to jokes without, I'm listening like, oh, you breathing hard in, boy. You breathe up, you know what I'm saying? You breathing hard in. And I'm more worried. So I look at the video, watch it, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's funny. And you
so you look at their social media, you look at their engagement with their followers or whatever, and then you can tell at that point.
The promotion of the comedy shows, comedy has changed so much now. As back in the day, it was like, if he funny, book him.
Okay.
Now it's like, who gonna sell the most tickets?
Okay.
I don't give a damn how funny he is. So a lot of people, the biggest war now is between stand-up comedians and social media comedians. So you have these comedians that doing skits and all this other kind of stuff, and then you want to book them, bring them to your city, and he can't do skits for 30 minutes. He got to tell jokes. So you want to hear jokes, and he want to make you laugh, and he can do the little tone on his voice or whatever. But if he ain't funny, so now you want to put him on a show with Ricky Smiley because he got 2 million followers, but he ain't got 10 minutes of stand-up.
Yeah.
So everybody can't do skits and everybody can't do stand-up. So you following this person because he's funny because he's doing the skits. But then when you go see him in person, you ain't going to see a skit for 30 minutes. You want to see stand-up. So you will put a veteran or OG around him to protect him. But the veteran OGs are like, nah, you paying him more money.
Mm-hmm.
You paying him more money, right? Because more people are here to see him. Mm-hmm. Man, make him do them 45. Make him go last. So here they go being funny, got the whole building laughing, and here you come talking like your skit or whatever, how you doing it, and man, you at the 45 minute, the OGs just laughing, whatever. It's like, yeah, he ain't that funny.
Dang, so you gotta have a good balance of both, right? In order to have a
so
successful
you want that, but most of the people on mine, they do skits. Everybody on my tour are stand-up comedians.
Okay.
Everybody on my tour is stand-up comedian because you know when you on that stage or whatever, you got to be able to take that crowd or whatever. And if something happens or whatever, you get better. You know, if you got to do 30 minutes of comedy, you better have 45 minutes of material. If you got to do 15 minutes of comedy, you better have 30 minutes of material because anything can happen or whatever. Because if somebody messes up your joke, and it's not like a freestyle battle, like battle rappers or whatever. When they go at each other, if you mess up, you start over.
Right.
If you're in the midst of a joke and you mess up and you miss your timing, man, you might well scrap that. You can't just start over like 4 Whores from 7 years ago. Nah, it's a wrap. You might well go on to your next joke, and then you know if that joke ain't hit and if it ain't funny, I can't force you. It's like we were talking earlier about the DJ playing a song, nobody's dancing. Don't let the whole thing play, man. Play something else to get everybody back on the dance floor, whatever. So now sometimes your best joke that you say for laugh. Man, you might gotta do that 5-10 minutes in.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's a rhythm thing.
Man, it's a rhythm thing. It's a time. Jokes, comedy is all about timing and rhythm and all this other kind of stuff. And then you got to know your order too. Like you got to put like your funniest person, you want them last, because if you put your funniest up tempo person up last first, and then here come your last person is slow rhythm, like yeah, so laid back. He ain't put everybody to sleep. He ain't kill him.
Yeah.
He ain't got them laughing and he just banging, and everybody laughing. Then here you come like, yeah, what's up, everybody? And it's like, come on, Negro, come on. You know what I'm saying? So it's good.
So when you're doing the show, I've seen you do both. I've seen you do a host, and I've seen you do a whole routine.
Right.
Which method do you prefer? Do you like hosting, or do you like doing a routine, or is it based on like your roster?
Only reason, like when the tour does kick off and get big or whatever, I probably will step away from comedy and just step away from it. Most times, the reason like why I'm doing hosting now is because I'm there with the show anyway. So when I pay somebody to host, I'm there and I can just pay it and all this other kind of stuff. So I think the last thing I did at Uptown or whatever, we was doing tickets or whatever. I don't think I performed at all. So I'm more worried about ticket sales.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about the dude at the door letting 10 people in for free.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's my cousin. Come on and let everybody free. And that happens.
Right.
You know what I know, Negro? That's $20. Man, you just let that's $200 you just gave me. I still gotta pay these people. So you're more when you're like the way we set up, like I was saying before, like they sell the tickets, we get our money no matter what. The show is easy to relax. But when you go to this show and you gotta perform and you worry about ticket sales and all this other kind of stuff, you don't know these people at the door or whatever, man, you can't relax.
I got you.
You can't relax. And then I'm a scary dude too. So when I say I might be big or whatever, when I say I'm scared, like when you go to these cities, you don't know nobody.
Right.
So my mentality is when I'm on stage performing is, you may be laughing, and while you looking at me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, y'all looking at me like, this nigga just got paid.
Right.
He got a pocket full of cash.
Right.
So I'm worried about like when people like, yo, Chris, when you go to these cities, like, yo, did you eat at this place? Like, nope. No, we fly in the day of the city. We fly in the day of the city, the show. We go to the venue. We perform. I am back to the hotel. Now the comedians, if you know people that you want to hang out, man, that's on you.
But you said earlier, security gets you
to the door or whatever, man. Because you don't know, bro. You got people, because you don't know these people like, yo, they taking money at the door. So you gotta get that money out. So you want to get your like, man, cash at me, bro. Cash at me or PayPal me or pay me ahead, and I can do that. Then I'm like, cool. I ain't got no cash on me.
I got you.
But when you go to these cities and when people hit you up, they're like, hey, I want to bring you to Tacoma, Washington. Man, I don't know nobody in Tacoma, Washington. I don't know you. So you trying to get my service, so you nice as hell. Man, you may be a game maker or something. And then when I get there, then he just like, I ain't paying you nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I flew in, so I didn't bring a gun. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you gonna do?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And so it's like, what you gonna do or whatever. So when I say I'm scared, it's like, man, there are bad experiences that comedians have had where they didn't get paid. Or you're there, you perform, and the promoter is like, yeah, we taking money at the door, and then when the show get ready to start, once everybody start taking money at the door, the promoter leave.
You go.
And so you would perform, you're like, I ain't got paid yet, and all this other kind of stuff. He took all the money from the door, all the pre-sale tickets, he gone.
That's
and
crazy.
It's the city, and stuff happen, and these stories that you don't hear, but it happened, and it's like, what you gonna do?
Right.
So it's like, you whatever. Then your people here, you flew them in, or they flew you in. You got hotels, and they like, man, I didn't get paid.
Man.
So your pocket, whatever. So it's like, and I pay all my people before we go on stage.
That's
and
cool.
So
That's
I
good
get paid before we go on stage or whatever. So I don't want to hear like I had a bag because I'm worried about whatever. But yeah, when we go to the cities, man, or whatever, y'all be very nervous because people they want your services, so they're very nice to you, and they try to do this all this other kind of stuff. But I don't know you.
Right.
And you talk about changes, like, nah, don't pay me in cash, bro, because you can have your cousin waiting on me.
Right. This is
right.
so crazy, the behind the scenes
You
and all
never
this.
know.
And you thinking of this while you performing and hosting.
So everybody, when we go to these cities, they book our hotels. So I don't care what room you put me in, I'm going to say something wrong with it.
You just switch it up.
So you'll never know what room I'm in. So you never know what room I'm in. I get it or whatever, and I get to the hotel. Whatever,
this is wild. That's crazy.
They're just thinking whatever. So it's like whatever. So that's why I get in day of the show, and I don't want no 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock flight, but by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm out. So I'm only in that city like 12. So if you hit me up, like, man, call me when you here. Now if I know you because I'm military, I got people or family or something there, yeah, I'll hang out for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Then the other comedians, you know, y'all grown. You
but
do
most
one
of
or two.
the time you
One
in
time.
and out.
I'm like, bro, hey, you got something to eat there or whatever? Man, I'm there, I'm in the room, whatever, I'm good or whatever. Next day I'm at the flight or whatever. So now I get to see, nope, I ain't get to see the shit. I come back and I'll be like, I'm not gonna come here and spend the money I just made.
Right.
You know what I'm
Give it
saying?
back.
Nah, like, yo, we got a party here, all this other kind of stuff. Nah, bro.
How long does it take to like put a tour together?
A show or
Yeah,
just
like a tour, like you know how
you want, like, if you put a show like a tour, like cities or whatever, like most of our stuff is like on the weekends and stuff like that. We come in and come out, whatever. So I mean, with Greeks, whatever, they have to vote on everything. So it takes months or whatever. But you can put a good show together in 2 weeks if that promoter has a good following.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if he's a promoter and he's telling you a premiere and he's at a comedy club, I feel like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Because comedy club, they can be like, okay, you can have the ticket sales. How the comedy club gonna hit you is like everybody gotta buy 2 items. So he gonna make his money no matter what. I don't care who you are. You go buy 2 water. It's gonna be $7 a water or whatever. So you enjoying the show.
You know it.
Yeah. So she gonna want some wings or she gonna want a lot of lamb chops or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
they gonna get that money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You drinking water and then if you just got water on your table, then I'm gonna look at you and be like, oh, you on antibiotics. I get it. She can't drink.
Comedians.
She gotta drink. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then she short on water, you know, when you see her there drunk all day drinking, they just eating the ice,
you know,
she ain't got no money.
Man, she ain't got no money for another drink. $7 and right up. And if she ain't get it free, oh my goodness. I've been there, man.
Oh yeah, so that's kind of things you do, man. So you get there and then, you know, people there and I mean, I haven't had a bad experience. I had some issues, lost money, I lost a lot of money on some shows or whatever. So that's why I don't try to produce and put my own show together in these cities. Because you would have to go to these cities like 3 or 4 times, man. So you want to do radio and all this stuff. So hopefully the comedian has a strong enough social media presence that he can put stuff out and people see it and start sharing, and hopefully it goes like that. But if you go to Mississippi or stuff like you don't know nobody or whatever, it's hard.
You might be SOL.
Yeah.
All right, so you put these tours together, and I guess I've been seeing "we outside" memes or whatever. So everybody's back outside. Well, may or may not be back outside. So what's next with the Greek comedy tour? Or you personal brand? What you got? What you got for the people? What's next?
Hopefully everything, man, is to get back to start doing shows again. Homecoming season back up to get us back to schools or whatever. Start doing shows back at the schools and stuff like that, and then lead back to the path of whatever I want. Like I got a goal, like how much I want to make a quarter with schools or whatever, what are the prices and everything. Since we weren't able to tour since 2019, so of course the prices had went back up, like everything else, like the barbershops probably went up, everything else or whatever, so everything is more expensive, so trying to get back that, whatever, and then my goal, man, is it within, my goal was 2 years ago, whatever it is, I wanted to have a whole Netflix series. Like I met somebody, whatever, just to put whatever, so my goal is that my dream show is like Ricky Smiley, like Cedric Entertainer, Cheryl Underwood, who's a Zeta, and Wanda Sykes, who's an AKA, and get these big name comedians who want to do a big show or whatever.
With you,
and that will break that ice or whatever, and put us more on a regular scale, and then put those big name comedians with my comedians who are not on the big name, and put them around and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, do like a 4 series, Greek Comedy 2 presents, episode 1.
Oh, that'd be
nice. Like a comedy jam or whatever, and then like Greek, like even like Chico Bean, he's an alpha. So then next 2 you just switch the lineups up and stuff like that. So, but COVID shut everything down, so now we got to pick up next thing and figure out if we do or whatever. So, and then just get a Netflix, man. Just hopefully that leave something for my kids, man, and their kids or whatever. So this, even though they're not in the comedy or whatever, but this is something that no matter what, the Greeks, people always need entertainment, whatever, because there was always comedy. Before I started doing comedy, there were Greeks for it, and people just started. I was the first person to ever put this together, to put them two together, man. So that's one thing.
It's a phenomenal idea, phenomenal.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, production, man. Like,
yeah.
Big ups to you for the idea and following through, man, with your ups and downs and the grind of entrepreneurship and everything.
Right.
So for like your followers or up and coming comics, what kind of words of inspiration or encouragement or whatever do you have that you can, or maybe some advice that you can give them so they get a leg up?
With the comics, I would say, man, get on stage. Just keep practicing. Everybody bombs. There's no comedian that said they haven't had a bad night. Everyone has a bad night, man. You know, sometimes, especially with the way Atlanta is, so in different cities, sometimes you may do comedy in a Crystal parking lot. Or in a restaurant. Went to a restaurant, a bar or something, and you didn't know they had comedy night. Like me and you, we came to order night. Most of those people, they didn't come there for comedy. They just came to have a drink,
right?
Or whatever. So they're not even paying attention to the comedy. They even take things like that. So sometimes, man, it may just be you and 6 people.
Yeah, but that's how you get your reps in.
Yeah, you get your reps in, man, and then whatever, and be you, man. Don't look at the other comedians and say like I want to sound like them or whatever, man. Just be you. Talk about your experience. Can't nobody take your experience. Yes, some of us have a lot of similar experiences, whatever, but make sure it's your experience and it's funny. You can take, of course I've seen stuff, friends that went through stuff or whatever, and turn it to joker material and stuff like that. And you can use it whatever, but man, best thing is being funny is being you. If you're funny, then your material be funny. Like I said, I always use Bernie Mac. Man, Bernie Mac said, no matter what I say, I'm funny. And he said, I ain't scared of you, MFs. And everybody laughed. All he said. How many people you know can say, I ain't scared of you, MFs? Who gonna laugh?
Right.
But it was just him just being funny. So if you're naturally funny, man, and not just, everybody not just listening to their family and cousins, because just because you make your family and your coworkers laugh, don't mean you on stage.
You the next round.
Everybody has made somebody laugh before. Everybody has made somebody laugh before. You know what I'm saying? It's like that person that cook food and their kids love their food. You know what? Now I'm gonna sell plates. Nah. The kids ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? Eat that food. So just.
But you know if you real, you get on stage.
Yeah, man. When you can just talk about what people just when you not being funny and you just being serious about something and people laugh like, what the hell you laughing at?
Right.
I'm dead serious.
That's when you might have something.
Yeah, you may have a little something, whatever. And then try it, and then you know your lane. So I know me that even though I'm funny, and then when you get it around the other comedians, you realize you ain't that damn funny. And then I knew mine, and then I realized from doing comedy or whatever that people that don't do comedy make more money than the comedians.
What?
So the people that book the shows, that bring Cat Williams and Kevin Hart to shows or whatever, that selling tickets, all that, man, they make more money than the comedians.
Oh my goodness.
Think about it. All the behind the scenes, the ticket sales or whatever. If I agree to you to sell, give you $3,500 to perform, and I might bring in $20,000 that night.
That's probably it in all the entertaining industries. The
talent, the people outside. That's why they
get more than the talent.
Yeah, get more than the talent. So I realized that I had to understand
the business side,
or whatever. And then one thing that about comedy is the only business where for the last 30 years the pricing has never changed.
Really?
So you can see you hear LL Cool J say, man, I might get $20,000 for a show when he started. Then you hear the Migos saying we getting $200,000 for a show, whatever. They are still paying comedians to come out and do 10 minutes of comedy, whatever, $50, $75, $100. The price hadn't changed.
You right, because I've heard comedians tell their stories before they got famous.
It's only $20, and to this day, the pricing is still the same. So let me tell you now, you think you come in this business and just get paid and all this other kind of stuff? No, so the videos, now you got social media, you got YouTube, you can get paid for those and stuff like that. But for stand-up, you think, when you see those comedians at Cats in Atlanta on Tuesday nights, doing a show, whatever, none of them get paid that night. No, you made more. So the comedians out there that just made you laugh, when you leave, they like, hey man, let me get a ride. You know what I'm saying?
It's real talk.
Yeah, it's real talk.
And they've been and some of them travel too.
Some of these comedians will go to another city, man, and they'll drive, just say to Savannah, 4 hours there, perform for 10, 15 minutes, and come back and only make like $150.
That's
And then
crazy.
you got the gas, all this other kind of stuff. And if it's 4 of us, and it's like, well, we'll put y'all in the hotel. Now, just give us money for the hotel. We all just go put it in drive. We just go come back, say that's an extra $60, $80, $100, or that the other comedians can have a split or whatever. But yeah, man, that's how promoted they did because that the theme of the Showtime or the exposure is people love it. Like I was told, like when people did radio or whatever, when people hear their voice on a microphone, it's like a crack. And they're addicted or whatever. So when people love comedy, man, they'll go anywhere. And then OGs would be like, hey man, I'm about to go perform in Albany. You drive, I'll let you perform, I'll put gas in your car.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of things that people use or whatever to get over whatever. But comedy, the feed, man, they still lowballing the comedians.
That's
and
crazy.
The prices, the tickets to get in and all that kind of stuff. It's coming whatever. So you got to find other ways of revenue or whatever, whether it be your videos or stuff like that.
Right.
Whatever. But
So there you have it, guys. Like that's how the business of comedy works. But there's been people who have, taken over. Like some of the people you mentioned, the Kevin Harts, the Cat Williams, the Mike Epps. But the grind that they put in is probably the things that you do not see. And that's what Chris is explaining, man.
And a lot of these comedians that you see that's coming out or whatever, man, they've been doing comedy 10, 15 years.
But they're overnight successes.
You think they're overnight successes. Like Shula King, when people came out, whatever, they put the first thing they said when he's a social media comedian, whatever, man, Shula was doing comedy 15 years. 15 years before his people started knowing who his videos was. Now, what keeps him around now is because he's funny on stage. And he's a stand-up comedian, he's funny. But when you just do his skits and you don't have that stage presence, they're not gonna pay to come see you. They ain't gonna want to bring you to their city. Because you don't have that many. When they'll put you on a show with 6 other comedians and let you go out there for like 5 minutes and act stupid or whatever because your 2,800,000 followers gonna want to come see you. So that's what it is. And right now, it's not about who's the funniest. It's about who got the followers, who can sell the most tickets.
So growing up, there used to be shows like Def Comedy Jam Comic View. Yeah.
Right. Now it's Instagram.
Now it's Instagram. Now everything is put on social media platforms.
So you can build your following easily by just because all it takes is one video to go viral. And once people go that one video go viral, then they gonna go to your page, and then they gonna say, oh, he's got other stuff, whatever. Then all it takes now, they hit follow.
Wow.
Now your 2,000 followers went to 7,000, and then you just keep putting out material or whatever. Then next thing your 7,000 goes to this or whatever, then that's how people, and it's just like rappers. When rappers come out, and it's like you hot, but you ain't got a buzz yet.
Right.
If you ain't got a buzz, they don't want to mess with you. So once you work and build and do all the hard work, and now I got a following. Man, I've been watching you for years. I've been watching you for years. Come on, man, now I want to sign this contract, all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, man, I've been trying to do this. But like whatever, like man, I did all the hard work, and you've been watching. You saw me struggling. Like you could have just been helped me and kind of whatever. You believed me. You knew I had the talent. So once you got the following, now you got a buzz, and that's how comedy is now. If you got a buzz, it ain't about who the funny is now.
But overall, still one of the best professions ever. Like
best profession.
Paid to make people laugh, or paid sometimes not paid.
Right.
Paid to make people laugh, and that makes you feel like you doing something, and like you.
Oh yeah, man. It's no other job out there other than I guess maybe a preaching or whatever. Where someone pay you to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
That's
you
awesome.
just got to be funny. That ain't easy now. But people pay you to be funny. And also one thing too, if you just start comedy, I would tell you your first set that you do or whatever, make sure it's clean.
Ooh.
Bedroom clean, bathroom clean. That way you can perform anywhere. You can perform at a church, you can do a kids event, you can do anywhere. If you have a clean set, you can perform anywhere.
Hey, take that advice.
Yeah, so if you have a clean set, you can perform anywhere. So you have some people you do the events, they be like, they don't want no bedroom humor, no bathroom humor. That means you can't come in there and be like, I had a bowel movement. They don't even want to hear that. Right. So when you got to be like churchy, clean and stuff like that. So if you have a clean set, you can work anywhere. and stuff like that. If you don't, you want now. Don't think you start off working at the white comedy clubs, and you know white comedy clubs love all black comedians.
They do.
Oh, bro, it's easy. You can, bro, you go to you can go to a white comedy club and you can see the sellouts up there. You know what I'm saying? And you hear something like, oh, Michelle Obama ugly as hell, and the white people like, oh my God, I knew it. I told you she was ugly. And you like, what the hell? Now you take that shit to a black comedy club.
You gonna get out of there.
To a white comedy club, you go and you just do the stereotypes, and they just like, oh my God, and I knew it.
Oh my goodness.
And so in the white comedy club, you can tell a story. You got all day. They give it to you. Black comedy clubs like, nah, Negro.
So no flow.
Nah, heck nah. You got it. What? He ain't said nothing yet? What we doing after this, bitch? What we doing after this? Who is that? Get him off stage. You know what I'm saying? Get him off stage or whatever. So comedy club is harder. So if you just doing like the white comedy clubs and you got laughed or whatever, then you go to that comedy club and like, for some reason they didn't like that joke.
They didn't go with the Michelle Obama that here.
Nah, or whatever. It's just you just badmouth black people and just stereotype stuff like that. Of course, the other clubs or whatever, they're gonna think it's very, very funny. They're gonna think it's very entertaining or whatever. And then you come to back club, then you worry about where everybody want to beat you up after the club.
It's good to know. Hey, you saved y'all. Alright, so that was Christopher Columbus. That was the business of comedy. That's your business. Like, let's get to know a little bit about Chris. So I got this little section I call it the this or that.
Right.
So I'm gonna hit you off with some questions.
Right.
You tell me this or that or whatever.
Right.
Alright, so let's go. It's gonna be a comedy question first. Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy?
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, okay. Mike Epps or Dave Chappelle?
Ooh, that is very. My style is more of a Mike Epps style. It's very Mike style-ish, but Dave is a beast. Because Dave is a genius.
He is so intelligent.
Dave is smart with it, and Dave is just talking to you.
At his pace.
At his pace. And that's why I talk about, like, if you have somebody going real fast, then you bring somebody, Dave Chappelle, whatever. Dave is just talking.
Yeah.
And when he's talking, you don't know where he's going. Then you realize, like, man, now you're laughing your butt off, man. But Dave is the GOAT. Like, he's just there. And he's really just talking to you for just an hour. Dave is somebody that is literally like Mike Epps animated. Like
he busting a sweat. He's on this side of the stage, that side of the stage.
Yeah. But Dave on stage is not animated. His skits he's animated, but on stage, Dave is just beast, just slow. And just whatever. So man, I would give it to Dave. Dave is just something that you just, it's like
he's in that.
He's a unicorn.
Yeah, he's in that. You know, in that flow where like athletes, like, you know, Jordan or Kobe or LeBron, when they tell you, I'm gonna give you 30, and this is how I'm gonna give you 30.
Yeah.
Like, he's in that phase where like
he's smoking a cigarette.
Easy, yeah.
And it's like, man, he think like whatever, and like he ain't like, and then like some people they laughing and whatever, and they gotta change they talk, and usually when the punchline hits, they raise their voice. Like I used to when I used to watch comedy or whatever. Like I used to watch like Chris Rock, and like Chris Rock used to always uses a microphone with a cord. And when he go across stage and right when Chris gets ready to say the punchline or the joke or whatever, he'll whip the cord like, and I told you, and he will snap the cord or whatever. And then like when I noticed that whatever, like and Dave is just slow. He ain't walking from side to side. He just sitting there.
He's so confident in his skills.
And it's just whatever. And you just realize, man, he's just funny. And one thing that Dave is doing, I do believe that only probably 10 minutes of Dave's show is written or rehearsed. The rest of it is just, man, whatever happened 2 days ago.
Reaction.
Whatever happened.
He can tell you up to speed on politics, on sports, on entertainment. That dude is so good, man. And I remember watching one time where he said, all right, y'all, this is going to be the punchline.
Right.
It was Dave Chappelle. I can't give you what he was talking about, but he said, all right, this is going to be the punchline. I'm so good at this, I'm going to give y'all the punchline first. Then he told the joke, and then hit him with the punchline, and everybody still fell out. Man, that dude is next level, man.
And that's the epitome when I tell you that it's him.
No matter what he says,
it ain't the joke
because he said
it's him.
Yeah.
He's Dave Chappelle is funny. It ain't that joke is funny. It's Dave Chappelle is funny.
All right, check it out. Rap or R&B?
Ooh, I mean, I'm on rap, but if I'm with her though, the R&B.
Yeah.
You see, was the one thing God knew what He was doing when He did not give me the ability to sing. If they gave me the ability to sing, oh my God, people, I would be singing at your repast. I would be singing at my gender reveals. I would be singing at
coming to the stage,
baby showers, or whatever. Speaking of baby shower, we gotta hurry up because when I leave here, I gotta go to my grandma's baby shower.
Oh,
we had my grandma's gender reveal 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
so, hey, I'm having an uncle, so I'm excited. I'm having an uncle.
Comedians, you gotta get these guys on your show, man. It's just wild.
So leave
me
here and go to my grandma's baby shower, man. So, yeah, I set it off for that.
Take the pink.
Yeah.
All right. I know you're a big fan of Jodeci from our days.
Jodeci fan.
All right, so here's a kicker: KC or JoJo?
Man, my closest friend Tone is just like so. We always. I would say JoJo because he can't sing.
JoJo.
KC. Yeah.
He just be up there screaming.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. But so God was good doing. He did not give me the ability to sing because I literally would crash. I was singing Joette. I was singing everything or whatever. Like, man, oh man, if I couldn't sing, but if I could sing, but.
All right, this next dude is a genius, but right now he's getting so much publicity for doing not a whole lot. So, Kanye, are you new Kanye or old Kanye?
I'm old Kanye.
You old Kanye?
I'm old Kanye.
He's the backpack guy.
Okay, the old Kanye.
Sweater
And his production.
Oh my goodness.
Bitch, whatever. But man, you got to understand, like people, like when he was talking about the Trump thing, with that stuff that bothered me.
Okay.
That stuff didn't bother me because I know Trump won the presidency, so that means a lot of people that said they didn't vote for him voted for him.
Yeah.
And that's something that you don't know because if you ever voted before, do you know when you go over there, nobody knows just between you and that damn machine. And all them people, and you know that social media influence you too. So and black people feel that we have to show you we voted, so we gotta show you our damn
the sticker.
So it's like, whatever, who cares? Like, and be 4 years later, like, that's the same shirt 4 years ago. It's the same damn sticker.
Right.
Now they gotta show that they being vaccinated or whatever. Like, I'm vaccinated, whatever. Like, man, you don't have to show. Right. But I get it though. Social media influence you or stuff like that. But what I learned though, man, from Prince, Michael Jackson, Kanye, Andre 3000. One person I met then, like that whatever music soldier I met in person one time or whatever, man. They're all weird.
Yeah, like the genius.
It's that genius that's weird.
Because I don't think it turns off.
Nah, bro. It's like they always thinking of whatever. So that stuff. So for dude to float up in the air with the thing and stuff like that, man. It's like those people are out and like, man, dude has made so much money. Like he's so creative. So when people are like, man, they don't think like we think. So people like him, Prince, Michael, like the stuff that Prince do. I mean, your cousin couldn't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your little brother couldn't wear that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So people like those guys are very, you know what I'm saying? Like a very gifted. They on another level, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. See, the thing about him, man, when he says, I can do anything. Right. Like he literally means he can do anything, dog. Like,
and he has the following and stuff like that. Like literally, like man, he wasn't on the phone, and like he's just different. Like they start off like this or whatever. Like even Lil Wayne like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They go skateboard and do what they want to. Just came in, they don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people like man, them folks are not really on social media. They have people wondering, and they don't care what you think or whatever because it's like man, these people are literally changing the world, man. So when I say man, I was like, man, these gifted people are some on a wavelength that we would never understand, and some of them before their time. And one thing, like you know, you say about Kanye and a lot of people become fans after they died and gone, or whatever, like period or whatever. Like one lady that's passed and gone that I loved her music, scene, whatever, man. I don't know if you're a fan, Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Amy was dope, bro. Amy music was.
It was jazz.
Yeah, stuff.
Jazz.
But it was different. You know what I'm saying? You realize like, man, she did stuff with Nas and stuff like that. So a lot of people, so a lot of people didn't appreciate that difference or whatever, man. But it's the stuff that it's not the norm. It's not bag or whatever kind of stuff like that. But no matter how good Kanye is or whatever, I'm still not wearing his clothes. I'm still not. One, I can't afford it.
Well, you can't afford it.
One, I
right,
can't
right,
afford
right,
it.
right.
Even though my child support is paid off, I still can't afford it.
Even though your kids is paid off.
Yeah. So, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but man, Kanye is a genius, bro.
He is.
And it's just one thing, just like, man, it's like, and when he do something, man, it's Kanye. When people's upset that he bowed and whatever, like Lil Wayne said something about Trump, whatever, man. If he was gonna pardon me, I ain't gotta go to jail.
My man, right?
Man.
Y'all soon, man.
Yeah.
All right, so Jay-Z or Nas?
I'm a big Nas fan. I love Jay too, though.
Right.
And one thing about Jay is once you learn that he doesn't write and that how creative he is, that he just goes off the dome, and you hear stories that he just be in the studio and just whatever, like mama, and then he puts it out or whatever. But I'm a big Nas fan because his album just came out again, so I like Nas. I just don't like his beat selection.
Yeah.
I just don't like his beat selection. I just don't think whatever. And what did it for Nas when he rhymed backwards? That just killed it. Like that was a story like that. The bullet back in the gun, and when I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so but I like both though. I like how Jay, how they went from the street life and all the other kind of stuff. So
I like the evolution of both guys, man.
Right.
Starting from the bottom and to where they are now.
Yeah, man.
They are hip hop royalty, man. And so
Right.
either one on that one, you win it, right?
Oh yeah, so,
win
now you bring up their past. A lot of people try to bring up their past. It doesn't care, especially like church folks or whatever. Like,
Right.
well, they always said people in church now with hell raisers in the 80s and 90s
Right.
stuff like that. So,
We all have a past, but
Right.
the way that the present right now, pretty good.
So the
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it, man. So, all right, this one goes back to comedy, man. So, this or that. So, would you rather have like bad jokes on a full house or good jokes on an empty house?
Good jokes on empty house. Anytime good jokes, whatever. And you heard the story before, like, every time you're on stage or whatever, you practicing or whatever. So I give you for example, whatever. Like I performed in Tampa during the Super Bowl.
Okay.
With Joe Torre. So I did a show with Joe Torre at the Super Bowl or whatever and stuff like that. And because of the pandemic, that was in February when I hadn't been on stage in a year.
Ooh.
I hadn't been on stage in a year. So I was rusty or whatever. So I just did it, even though I practiced on my stuff in the mirror and all that other kind of stuff. But it was real. I was real rusty, whatever. And then I told the DJ to bring me out to some old music to get the crowd out, whatever. Now, one thing helped too was I was early.
Mm-hmm.
I went on stage. I think I was third to perform, so I had that. So I had the crowd was still young and all that.
Engaged.
And then when I had it, whatever. And then the one thing too was what was the crazy thing about it was you had the comedy show first, and then you had an old school concert after.
Okay.
A lot of people that was there for the concert. So you had Kwame. Money Love, Special Ed, Dana Dane, Chubb Rock, and some other people. What else? So more people was there for that.
Right.
But the comedy just to perform on stage with them and all that kind of stuff. And you had that whole crowd or whatever. I was really like my timing was off or whatever, but because I didn't have that practice where I could go and get that repetition and timing or whatever and try my new material. And then I had new jokes I wanted to try. In front of them that I had written throughout the year, whatever, but they were laughing at my old stuff, whatever.
I
stuck
to what you said,
what I had,
yeah.
and then just got the hell off stage or whatever. Because most of the folks had never seen or heard of me before. Anyway.
Gotcha. So good jokes on an empty house.
You never want to have bad because that big crowd of empty, they gonna remember. You might come back to that city again, and they like, I ain't paying for that.
Oh, yeah, the guy booed 3 months ago. I got you.
Yeah, that one discovered Boeing. It's Christopher Columbus that discovered Boeing. Sit down. And you can't, when you do have a bad night, man, it'll mess with your ego. One thing when you're a comic, when you come on stage, never look for reassurance in front of comedians.
Oh.
Because you could be doing stage or whatever, you look to the side and look backstage and you just see the comedians in the back laughing, oh, he's dying tonight, he's dying.
So you don't know if they laughing at the jokes or
they laughing at you. They laughing at you. And so they laughing at you because they don't know what's laughing. They don't know what's laughing. You that silence when you hear whatever, when you on stage and you can hear the waitress say, you want a shot of what? It's like, you can hear the waitress taking orders. Yeah, let me get some steak fries, man. You know what I'm saying? you just get back on stage or whatever, and then hopefully the comedians know. But and also, if they coming behind you, they scared too. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't think about that.
So, but if we got a good relationship or whatever, you bomb for me. Oh, I gotta talk about it, especially the host too.
Yeah, so
you gotta because once the crowd is like boom, whatever, you gotta get the crowd back on your side. So it's the host and the one and whatever gotta do whatever. Like, man, y'all just ate my boy Chuck up. Y'all didn't give Chuck a damn.
Give a moment of silence for what Chuck just did.
You know what I'm saying? Chuck mama in the crowd. Like, what the fuck? I mean, she died 5 years ago, but she's in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? She's getting scared and y'all booing her. Y'all didn't give my man a chance.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's more, so you gotta do it, whatever. So you gotta get them back on your side, get the laugh or whatever. Now I can tell my shit. But y'all ain't about to boo my mama's son like I did Chuck.
My mama's son.
You ain't about to boo my mama's son.
Oh my goodness, man. You are too much, man. Listen, man. That's a wrap for the What's Up Chuck podcast, man. I want to thank Christopher Columbus, Christopher Richardson for coming out, blessing us.
And if you on IG, follow me on IG, Columbus 1914, COLUMBUS 1914 on IG and Greek Comedy Tour. My next virtual show you want to check it out is August 23rd. We're doing a virtual show. You can see it on the link or whatever, man. You can tune in. I think the ticket's like $20 or whatever. And then when you purchase a ticket, they will send the link, the Zoom link to you, like maybe an hour or so before the show starts. And then they'll let you in, man, and just come on and have a good time, man. We have a DJ during the show. And after whatever, it's just for that presence, whatever. We'll book you, man. If you want to email me, contact me at info@GreekComedyTour.com. If you lose my number because I'm talking fast, because I'm breathing, whatever, just call Chuck. Chuck, yeah. Hey. Chuck know my info or whatever. So
get you locked in. Oh, I do want to ask you before you go. All right, now that you had a chance to chop it up with your boy, you had a chance to come out to the studio.
Correct.
Who do you think would be an awesome guest on the What's Up Chuck podcast?
If somebody live close by. Somebody drives Uber or something to get a drive off down here or do whatever. Somebody that lives close by. So maybe your daughter and your wife, that's somebody that's real close, that would be the best person ever, man. Once you get this thing up rolling, man, like I said, I was 15 comedians, man. I will funnel my people through here.
That's what's up.
And whatever, and get it up, whatever, so you can present or whatever. And I will send my people, anybody you want to know that whatever. I got connection with some R&B singers, like, you know.
You said once I take this thing on the road.
Yeah, like whatever, like I'm telling you, if you're not familiar with Joe, with Chuck lives down here in Tangler Outlet. So you come down here and go to Nike Outlet, get you some shoestrings, some toiletries.
Very convenient.
You know what I'm saying? And they come up here and whatever. So make sure you good. Make sure
go shop first. Go shop
make
first.
Make sure you got some gas.
And swing back to the studio.
You know what I'm saying? Don't mess up.
And we got you.
Make sure you take your medication before you come.
Right.
Don't take your Thursday birth control on Saturday. It'll mess up your whole cycle. So come with Chuck. So yeah, but I can get anybody you want, man. So I would love to come back when we live closer.
Yo. Follow Christopher Columbus at IG. Columbus, what is it?
1914, man. You already know the 1914 stand for. So yeah, it's all good.
There, that's a wrap. Thank you.
Yeah.